All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump right into it. I want to preface this video letting you know that each section hopefully is broken up into chapters by the time that you watch this. And I got a little bit to say about a little bit of everything here. So we got the hotfix 1.2.7 coming up in the ultimate weapon rework, right? Say that 10 times fast. The Last Dagger Restored Relic and the Sigor's Proof. Both of those, Restored Relic and Sigor's Proof, they're both amazing weapons. They both are good at doing what they do. And the additions to these in the hotfix coming up on February 13th, whether you're watching this after or during or before, the changes to both of those are going to be fantastic. Now, the Last Dagger is a weapon that probably no one knows about. You probably get it confused with the other weapon, the Final Masterpiece, two weapons that people never really use. But the Last Dagger has this unique ability called Patience, and when damaging the enemy, the unique ability Patience activates, and hitting the enemy with max stacks fires enhanced rounds. On hitting an enemy with enhanced rounds, Patience is reset, inflicting stun on enemies. Now, there's some niche things going on in the module area about enhanced rounds, but when most people think about enhanced rounds, they probably think of Glay, they probably think of Jaber. Jaber and the Last Dagger are two things that two people never talk about in a real conversation because both of those things are trash. The rework to the Last Dagger isn't going to make many people use it. I think the Last Dagger itself needs to be reworked in its entirety. I don't know how it could be changed. Make it a sidearm. It shoots like a sidearm already for the most part. Make it dual wieldable. Make it the only gun in the game that does dual wield and spreads damage. I don't know. Do something with the Last Dagger, but this isn't it. Single target DPS for the Last Dagger isn't going to make people want to pick up the Last Dagger. And now we have the rare weapon balance adjustments along with the Last Dagger reworks. The rare weapon balance readjustments are only going to be good for those who are leveling. It's not going to be those that are in game. For those of us who are looking forward to this hot fix, we're not looking forward to the rare weapon balance adjustments. There should be a Descendant that synergizes with these purple weapons to make them better in some capacity, or even be able to utilize the core system with them. I don't know, but the purple weapons getting lost in the sauce is just a real shame that they get left behind because there's so many good options, so many good skins for those purple weapons. Now the Void Erosion update is they're updating it for a better solo experience. They're toning down the density of the monsters that will be in the Void Erosion. They're going to have less projectiles from the enemies. They're going to make your guns feel more powerful. They're going to nerf elite enemies. They're going to take away some of their health from their health bar. The Void Purge is getting an increase in matchmaking across the entirety of the Void Erosion Purge event or activity. The Descendants across the board, they're not equal in power when it comes to the Erosion Purge. So they're looking to turn it more in less of a weapon-based system and more of a skill and weapon-based system. They do plan on buffing the underperforming Descendants, which should get the Void Erosion Purge in line with the other content and bring up the weaker Descendants. So nerf Void Erosion and buff up and it's like kind of buffing the Descendants at the same time. Now, they did say that they're going to be doing some type of PTR for development things in the future, but that's probably going to be limited to PC players. With PlayStation, Xbox, they have all these certificates and stuff they have to do, so they're not really going to probably be getting into that. It's probably going to be a PC site thing. Now, they said that they're going to be changing the Knight's character design model back to its original state. That's going to be happening on the 13th, or has happened on the 13th. So what was the big difference in there? The thing that I could only see with Inez is that of her posterior wasn't shiny like it was previous to, so they're going to reapply the gloss that was left on her posterior. Now, the changes that are coming in March, we're going to have a new main story that's going to be a season 2, episode 2. Now, a big thing with the main season, episode 2, it is a continuation of the season we have now. It is new content development delivered to the game, along with the new field Sigma Sector. This is going to tie into the arcade tuning. And then we're going to have new monsters called the Oblivion, a new name boss for that area. Descendant growth arcade tuning, which I was just talking about. We have the new Descendant Serena. We'll be talking about her a little later. And new ultimate weapon. One's going to come with the season pass. 3 more are going to be added to the game. New external components. So since we're getting a new Descendant, we're obviously going to get new external components. And we have new Void Intercept Battle Abyss Tormentor. Now, when it comes to the main story, episode 2, season 2, the battle pass, I've already talked about that the battle pass is going to not carry over. It is not going to carry over into the new season. So when episode 2, season 2 comes around, it's still season 2, but when this season ends, when this one launches, the battle pass will be reset, so you'll be able to have something else to chase on that battle pass again in order to get those catalysts, in order to get new skins, new weapon skins, and all that jazz. The new field Sigma sector is going to tie directly into the arcade tuning. You're going to be needing to do the Sigma sector activities in the new field in order for the arcade growth tuning, in order to improve your descendants there. It doesn't seem to be a character-wide thing. It seems to be descendant specific. So if you have your favorite descendants, it's going to give you something else to do if you want to chase those grinds. The Paragon board looks a lot like Diablo 4. I'll pull that up on screen later. And let's talk about the new Descendant Serena. So pulling up on screen right now is the arcade tuning kind of area. I've blown it up so you can see both sides clearly. We have different settings in there so you can save types of tunings. You have the unique arcade factor versatility level 1. Unique arcade factors remaining 1,000 out of 1,000. That seems to be the cap. So you're going to need, from what I'm guessing, from how I'm reading it, you're going to need unique arcade factors in order to plant the seeds in the arcade seed tuning area, right? You're going to work your way from point A to point B. It's going to be more like Paragon boards from Diablo 4. Hate it or love it. That seems to be the thing that they went with here. They didn't go with no star map. They didn't go with no Path of Exile 2 building tree. They seem to went with the Diablo 4 design to add more to characters. Probably their way of going with some type of infinite growth up to that 1,000 mark. Also, some things I'd like to point out here is that they have areas for max HP. They have some cooldown reduction on there. It looks like there's little nips and nodes in there in order to slightly tweak your character. The gold nodes seem to be bringing the more bang for your buck. So I'm not going to just put a flat value on the gold nodes, but if you get a flat 30% increase HP, or you get a flat 30% increase of cooldowns, that is really going to open up most people's build in order for that character that supplying that arcade tuning to get more damage to fall in line with the other descendants. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section below, but I feel like the arcade tuning and the way that they went about it seems to be in the right direction for getting some of the more underpowered descendants up to a better state, but keeping the overpowered descendants in a very good overpowered state in order to carry those who cannot carry themselves. Now, I'm not saying that you need to be carried in this game, but if you've played a Deathstalker or a Gluttony battle, you know there's some people who need to be carried, there's some people that want to be carried, and there's some people who don't know their character at all. You can tell me if I'm lying. Now, Serena's going to be introduced into the game. This is the new Descendant, and I can't wait for her ultimate form. She has the wings on her back. She does have these metallic wings on her back. She's going to be able to fly and use her abilities as she flies. It looks like she's holding an ultimate weapon right there in hand, and I'm getting Mercy vibes from her. Everyone's getting Mercy vibes from her. She's got the doilies on her chest and she's got them on her neck. This is an older lady. This is a grandma. She has, if I'm not mistaken, she has ties to Ajax, and Ajax has been looking for her. I want to say that she's going to be fire and retribution. She's going to be healing and damage. She's going to be a true healer damage, something that Eugen isn't really. Eugen is more of a medic, but he has a lot of samey skills. I think this is going to be their first dive into dividing up the damage and the healing portion, probably with some amount of as much as you heal, as much as you damage, as much as you damage as heal. I think there's going to be some back and forth there. I think one of her skills is going to be dedicated to flight to get her airborne. That's probably going to be her one. And then there's going to be a skill that's going to be an airborne ability. And then there's going to be an ability that can be used in the air or on the ground, probably her ultimate, and probably giving her two somewhere along the lines of healing capabilities. This is my tinfoil hat theory on how they're going to build out Serena in order to diversify her in how Eugen plays and how Blair plays and how Ezimo plays. Ezimo's explosions, Blair's all pizzazz, and then what is the other one that you have in the game? Another Fire Descendant. Nothing really comes to mind. I feel like I'm missing one. Let's see real quick. Oh, Lepic. That's a Descendant I don't use. Lepic is kind of hit or miss with those balls of fury that he has thrown out all over the map and going katoosh, katoosh all over the place. That's usually only thing he's good for. Now I'm just rambling. But Serena is going to be, I think, a game changer because she's going to be the first Descendant that can actually fly. So I think that's going to bring in with the Oblivion. I think it's going to bring in some flying type enemies. And we're not just going to be looking forward straight down the hallway, shooting our gun. We're going to have to be looking at the skies. We're going to have to be looking at the ground. There's going to be an assault from the land and the sky now. I think this is how they're bringing in the new with new flight for us, new flight for the enemies, and then putting us in that desert-like area. If you played Helldivers, I want to say when you had to fight those Screecher type of enemies, that they were also brought to us in those type of more open field activities. I know a lot of the planets on Helldivers is open field, but you get what I'm trying to say. Is that they're going to be given some room to breathe here instead of the tight corridors that we're accustomed to. And I think that the new enemies are only going to be located in the new area. As such, I think all the enemies are located in specific areas. So the new Sigma sector is probably going to have primarily Oblivion in it. I think that land is going to be designed for that openness for those new enemies. Now, what's coming in April? In April, we have external component core systems. We have reactor external component option readjustment. So what they're doing with the external component option readjustment is that first slot you couldn't change, you're going to be able to change that now. That's nothing too big. We got new Ultimate Blair. We got new Ultimate Blair skill modules. There's the Blair story. The Blair story, they said, is going to be more lighthearted, more fun, more funny versus what we got coming up in episode 2, which is Glay and Daya, her daughter, which has been transformed and mutated by the Vulgus. New external components, that's part of the course for the Serena thing. And then we have the new Void Erosion Purge Stage Edition. So Void Erosion Purge isn't going anywhere. It's just going to get harder. It's going to get more stages added to it. You guys know what I was going to say. It's just going to become a more lengthy process over time with the whole Void Purge Erosion. Now, the external components core systems, they're making sure that fire stuff drops with fire stuff, chill stuff drops with chill stuff. More focused external wow. I confuse reactors with components. The external component core system. So they're going to be fixing the external components themselves to give the external components more customization. So your memory, your sensor, your auxiliary is going to open these things up more, giving you a more better, right? A better experience overall to make your character feel and play it the way that you want them to feel and play. The reactor and external component option readjustment, that's that minor thing that I just talked about. The party finder system, so you can find a party more. View other descendants, actually view their build, see what they got going on. Story quest route improvement, so making it more fixing the overall story, because it's a lot of word spaghetti that goes on in the First Descendant. No one really cares about it. The early game guide and improvement, so helping out new players. An in-game web browser guide, I don't really know what that's about. And obviously new skin. It just says new skin. New skins, maybe, for the Descendants? I don't know. But it just says new skin. They didn't really talk about it in the developer update. But April, it's not much going on, not much to talk about there besides Ultimate Blair. So let's get on the tangent about Blair. So we do have Ultimate Blair coming to the game. I want to see my boy Blair in his black and gold. They got this fire mask on him, blowing out fire with the cigar. I like Blair. I even did a video on my channel, the best incendiary bomb build on YouTube for Blair. But to be, in all honesty, in all the time that I've played the First Descendant, I want to say over 600 hours that I have on the First Descendant, and I've seen maybe 2 Blairs in passing that's ever been on my squad in any random matchmaking. Bunny, Haley, um, Freyna, Glay, even some VSs sprinkled in there. I see more Ajaxes than I see Blairs. I've seen more Eugens than I've seen Blairs. I never see a Kyle, never see SMO. But anyway, I'm on a rant. Everyone's talking about, man, I can't wait for Blair to get into the game as an ultimate character. No one plays this guy. The only reason why is because I don't think that they said that they nerf characters. They say we don't nerf characters, but I'm pretty sure that they nerfed Blair back in the day with his Truly Deadly Cuisine was doing an immense amount of damage. It was doing like millions of damage with the Truly Deadly Cuisine. Same thing with Sharon. Sharon had her Void blades. They were doing immense amounts of damage. The characters felt great. They were wonderful. Now we got Ultimate Sharon in the game that does like a pirouette or something and throws out some blades real fast. It's not really good. Again, I'm not gonna go on the Sharon tangent. I already put a Sharon video out on my channel about how bad she is, ultimate or not. And Blair just doesn't feel right for most players because his one, which gives him more power, is the hot floor type of deal, and it should be the incinerate bomb, and then the hot floor should probably be the mod or something. I don't know. Blair's kit doesn't really work well with Blair himself. He has a hand flamethrower that has like kind of limited range, kind of got to be close. The Truly Deadly Cuisine or the big fireball he throws is slow. Bosses tend to either outrun it backwards or they just completely move out the way. It's kind of real bad. And then the little hot floor that he throws on the ground, only some minor enemies run into that. The whole kit for Blair it seems cool, it seems fun, but it isn't really quite there to where you're like, man, I really want to Blair on my team. Lepic, he throws out these balls at really long distances away, and when Serena comes to the game, she's a chick, she has wings, she's gonna do fire. Again, who's going to be using Blair? Blair's cool. He's a great concept of a character, but his ultimate modules really don't make him good in the way that you're really not using Haley with her ultimate mods, right? They really just don't like. It's like the ultimate mod team and the actual designers of the Descendants aren't talking to each other, and they're creating these things that seem good on paper, but in practice they're really not. So I think his Truly Deadly Cuisine should make a way bigger fireball. It should move a lot faster. You should be able to control the projectile speed of it with the skill RK Accelerant. You should be able to shoot fireballs out of your hands instead of tossing them underhand like we're doing the softball game. Blair's kit just doesn't fit well with the fantasy of how the other characters play. It's like it's like Enzo. Enzo has a great kit and some good ultimate modules, like fairly good, right? But we all know he has the one good one. But his two that throws out that little missile bomb, no one uses that thing. Really, that thing is just like, it's garbage. And that's the same way people feel about Blair's Truly Deadly Cuisine. It should make a larger radius because of a bigger fireball instead of taking away the fire that it leaves on the ground. Who designed that? Why is it that I make a bigger fireball but I don't leave scorched earth from the ground in order to get the scorched earth, in order to get my mana back, in order to absorb it with my 2 and to bring back that power that I want? I'm using an ultimate mod that gives me more damage but takes away one of the best things about my kit, which is leaving scorched earth. And I just don't want to be pushing one and waving my hand on the ground and creating these little puddles of fire beneath me when they should be away from me, in front of me, just like the incendiary. I think that Blair needs a restructure. I like him, but not enough to say, hey, I'm going to stop using Haley, which feels great, looks great, is an overall better character, in order to go play Blair and do way less damage and just be doing Enduring Legacy, which I could be doing better on a Valby, and even Valby's trash. So again, Ultimate Blair, he's not going to be too much better than regular Blair. He's just going to look cooler, and I hate that for my boy, even though I like Blair. But he just isn't. He isn't functioning right. He just isn't functioning right. If they give this much attention to Freyna, then they should give this much attention to Blair, with the fire and the burn damage and the way that the scorched earth on the ground works with him. He should just be relooked at, and how he overall functions as a character and what we're trying to achieve with him, which is big fireballs, big damage, scorched earth, everything on flames, have fun, and give that flamethrower 3 more meters on it or something. I got to be right in the enemy's face to hit him with that. But anyway, I'm done with the whole Blair tangent. Make my boy look good. Make Blair great again. Now, something that's way more important than anything else is the jiggle physics, and that is coming later this year in April. Photo mode in April, customization improvements, eyebrows, hair, beard. More customization stuff is going to be coming in April. So the jiggle physics are going to be able to be turned on and off if you want it on and off. You don't have to opt into it if you don't want to, but that is what's coming later in April. The devs did want to go over that seasonal updates are large scale updates, and the season 3 major update in summer will have their first collab and their first anniversary events. Their monthly updates are going to be episodic. So if they say anything like episode 1, 2, 3, those are smaller updates. So similar to some like similar to what we had before, but the new verbiage of season updates will be very large scale. So massive things happening to the game, big balance and patch updates and stuff of that nature. When they talked about the Labrador Fellow, they discussed that the Labrador Fellow is going to stockpile ammo. He still will pick up everything on the map. He just won't dismantle things. So this was going to have a stockpile of ammo. I want to say that when you run out of ammo, the dog will come over to you, kind of be like a ammo pickup. It's just going to refill your ammo, keep on going, keep picking up ammo. It's going to be running around fetching ammo and bringing it back to you as he stockpiles up on it. As his levels increases, I'm probably sure that he's going to have a bigger stockpile of ammo. Again, he does not dismantle things. That is what the German Shepherd is for. This one's for ammo. Now, they did touch on one thing with the key quality of life improvements. We want to talk about the ultimate transfer items obtainable only during quest events. Like I said, quest events, but only obtainable via events in the game. So they will be running a bunch of events in the game coming up. That's not what I'm talking about. They have specific type of events that hold the ultimate transfer items in these events. These are the devs talked about it like these are ultimate character transfer item like events. Like they're more they're telling you directly that this is what this event is going to be holding. And the current events they got coming up is a bunch of catalysts and stuff like that. But you need to not take a regular bunny stuff and put it on ultimate bunny right now. You don't need to take like old frame and stuff and put it on a new frame. You do what you want, but I'm saying is that there are better characters. There's an ultimate Haley that's eventually going to come up. There's ultimate Enzo that's going to be coming up. There's going to be better ultimate characters you're going to want to save these pieces for, and I'd rather you not waste them on something such as trying to bring up an old bunny into a new bunny. All right, that makes sense. Well, hopefully you guys did enjoy the video and found some of this information more than all the other videos that's come out here, more insights, more deep dive looks, more talks about what's going to happen and what's coming down the pipeline and what you should and shouldn't do and how I feel about the things. Well, if you made it this far in the video, like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.